Hello, everybody. My name is Afro DX, and today is a very special, very exciting day because One Piece has finally reached 1,100 chapters in the manga. That is so awesome. What a great milestone for Ichiro Oda. It was actually really difficult because last night I tried to go on YouTube and within 5 seconds I was bombarded with about 3 videos that were already doing the review, and I almost got spoiled. I did get spoiled on the title of the chapter. Um, but yeah, no, it was really hard not to get spoiled for this one because we're really thinking um this is going to be the chapter that really ends Kuma's story, either figuratively or literally. um but yeah, something big is happening in this chapter. uh so yeah, um it was actually funny because I was talking to a guy at a bar I was at last night and talking about One Piece chapters, and he said he just picked a random number and he said, aren't they up to 1,100 by now? And I said, that's exactly the chapter they're on this week, is 1,100. um so we are at the point where you could literally pick nearly any number and One Piece would have that many chapters. But yeah. So also, just a quick thought. I was trying to think up names for this segment, maybe something catchier that would bring more people in for viewing. And what I thought of was One Man One Piece, since this is a one man live acted One Piece chapter, or live voice acted One Piece chapter. So I thought maybe that would be an interesting thing to do. Anyways, without further ado, we are going to hop right in to the chapter. But first, we are gonna say hi because Trix the Anime Hater is in here. He says yo, right back to you, Trix. And just so everyone knows, I am reading off of TCB Scans version. So if you go to TCB Scans and look up chapter 1,100 of One Piece, you will be able to follow along with what I am reading and kind of hear it in the audiobook format, which can be pretty fun. Just to let everyone know, we are reading and reviewing One Piece chapter 1,100, which is titled Thank You, Bonney. And there, we will put that at the bottom of the screen just so everyone is able to see that. All right. Actually, that kind of there. That's better. All right, so let's get right into it. One Piece chapter 1,100 or 1,100, which is titled "Thank You, Bonney," and the cover art has Sanchi cooking vegetables, making Usopp nostalgic about the Usopp pirates. What a wholesome cover page right there. A good callback to I don't want to say Usopp's youth, but Usopp's backstory and where he began. That's so cool. Oda's notes. I've been having a hoot watching the preliminaries for the M1 Grand Prix, a competition for manzai, a traditional form of onstage comedy. There's a few duos I'm rooting for. I hope they make the finals. Well, I certainly hope they make the finals too, Oda, for your sake. All right. Getting into the chapter. I'm afraid I'm here on business. So we start off with Kizaru, just to let everyone know. At the future location of Egghead? I'm afraid I'm here on business. Man, it's cold. This place sure is a far cry from Punk Hazard. Just you wait. The future will be born right here. My head is overflowing with ideas. It's honestly hard to think straight. That explains how you missed it. You really should have checked every nook and cranny of the lab when you moved in. Navy Admiral Kizaru Borsellino. The government frowns on secret backroom deals with pirates, you know. Okay, you got me, Borsellino. I hate it when you get like this. Come on, I'm just doing my job. It's irrelevant if you consider him an ideal candidate, Vegapunk. This man is a pirate with 296 million on his head. You can say you were ignorant of that, or simply admit you don't care. But making a fugitive the face of our clone program is out of the question. It would be an affront to the Navy's reputation. With that in mind, we have 3 additional stipulations if you want us to honor this deal of yours. Firstly, Bartholomew Kuma, you must agree to become one of the 7 warlords of the sea. A few days ago, we found ourselves a member short thanks to the exploits of a rookie named Ace. Ace mentioned! There we go. It caused great turbulence in the pirate world. Someone of your caliber would be a natural choice to fill that opening and calm the seas. Our second condition is for you to undergo procedures to become a human weapon for the Navy. Are you talking about modifying my body? Precisely. You already have all the traits required to be an effective warlord, so you'll become a paragon of fear for pirate scum far and wide after you receive your enhancements. I second that. The Navy would love to have you on our side. Can it, Kizaru? You see my point. But that's not all. You aren't like other pirates, Kuma. We are well aware of your history with the Revolutionary Army. If you accept our offer, we must take precautions to ensure you never turn your power against the world government again. Which brings us to our third and final condition. You must agree to give up your free will and sense of individuality. Saint Saturn! That would be tantamount to killing him! This is because none of the other warlords follow orders, isn't it? If you snuff out all the humanity left in a cyborg, you'll have nothing but a robot. Do you really expect me to murder a man? You forget yourself. You're a military scientist, and you have no right to talk back. These conditions must be met if the criminal wishes to save his daughter. It is a small price to pay, considering how expensive and difficult this procedure would be otherwise. I have no obligation to help this girl. This is murder. It'd be perverse to modify a human like that. I won't. Vegapunk, please do it. Kuma? I've been worrying all this time, thinking it might be impossible to save Bonney. I'm so grateful. I'll happily accept any fate, so long as Bonney is cured. Kuma. Bonney continues to run in the hallways, with Centaur chasing her. Vegapunk, how long will it take you to finish Kuma's modifications and cure his daughter? Dealing with the sapphire scales will take 6 months, but it'll take an extra year on top of that before she can be exposed to natural light. That's a total of about a year and a half before she's cured. Kuma's modifications will take 2 years at minimum. Thank goodness. She really will be all better by the time she's 10. How can we trust you to remain obedient after she's cured? Your daughter is our only leverage here. I've no intention of running. Be that as it may, the world government will have to take custody of her once her treatment is complete. She'll be free after you follow through with the erasure of your personality. But that would mean Kuma won't get to see Bonney after she's cured. Correct. His modifications will commence immediately. It'll be an ongoing process, as he starts his tenure as a warlord and helps the government tame the seas. After his daughter is cured, any contact between them will be forbidden to ensure they don't escape. If there is any hint of defiance from any of you, I guarantee she will spend the rest of her life as a slave. I won't try to see her, I swear. I have only one request. Don't tell Bonney the truth. She can't know about her illness or that she's being kept as a hostage. I don't want her to wake up after her surgery in some soulless government facility. Take her back to Sorbet. You can keep her in the church where she grew up. If you can grant that one request, then I promise you, I won't seek her out, and I'll obey without question. Very well. It makes no difference where she's kept, as long as the government oversees it. Looks like we have an interesting 2 years ahead of us. Bonney, we'll be staying here for the next 6 months. Really? So you're staying with me? That's right. They think I may have come down with something too, so they need to run some tests. Snap! That means we get to be together! Yay! Oh, this weirdo is Sentamaru. That's rude. Wow, this place has so many windowless rooms. Yes, but be careful. There's all sorts of dangerous gadgets around here. That's it! I can create the weapon of my dreams now! Damn it, the brainwaves won't stop. Someone needs to write everything I'm thinking down. If only they could eat and use the toilet for me too, I'd never have to stop. I'm so short-handed, it's maddening. I just had another eureka moment. This is going to keep me as busy as a beaver. I wish there were 5 more of me. Apparently, this is the busy as a beaver quote is the same one related, the same idiom related from chapter 1062. So we see panels of Kuma undergoing his modifications and Bonney being healed by the doctors, and Bonney playing with Sentamaru and Kuma saying hi to her. And she drew a picture of him. And them sleeping together. And there's a cargo ship arriving, so they're starting to build up Egghead. Oh, and this cargo ship brings them food as well. So Kizaru, Kuma, Bonney, Sentamaru, and Vegapunk are all eating together. I guess Kizaru was nicer. And all of them dance to the Drums of Liberation. So Kizaru knows the Drums of Liberation. He's danced to it before. Half a year later. Okay, the results are good. After a year of rehabilitation, you'll be completely cured. Thank you, Vegapunk. Yeah, thanks. Once I'm all better, can I come and visit? Of course. Kingdom of Sorbet. Kumachi! Bonney-chan! It's been so long. Are you finally home for good? They said I'll be all better in a year. Then I'll finally be able to go outside. Is that right? That's fantastic news. You always said you'd be as fit as a fiddle by the time you turn 10. Does this mean I'll be taking care of you? Does this mean I'll be taking care of you again, Bonney? Granny Connie! We would be more than happy to take care of her, Kuma. Yeah, you can count on us. Member of Sorbet royal family, Queen Dowager Connie. Thank you. I'll leave her in your hands. I'm still a pirate after all. If I stay, it won't be good for the kingdom. I don't think I'll be back for at least a year. What? That long? I'll write you tons of letters. Okay. The next I see you, we'll both be able to sail the seas and reach the horizon. I can't wait! I want to travel to all sorts of places together. I'd love to take you. I really would have loved that. Please leave the rest to us, Kuma-san. Who's that? Cypherpol Agent Number 8, Intelligence Agent Alpha. Or a direct translation would be Alufa. I'm a nurse. The doctor ordered me to take care of Bonney-chan during her recovery. I'll check her temperature daily, make sure she takes her medicine, and monitor for any changes. My name is Alpha. Nice to meet you, Bonney-chan. No suspicious individuals be allowed near her during recovery. Please remember to bring identification with you plan on visiting. That's such a pain. And what's that building you're putting up in front of the church? These are accommodations. Don't forget, a child's skull is such a fragile thing. And she crushes something in her hand, which I'm assuming is a part of a skull? I understand. I'm not coming back. Thank you, Bonney. I'm so glad you were born. Really? Take care. The pirates of the world were utterly shocked when the infamous tyrant Bartholomew Kuma suddenly became an absolutely obedient member of the Seven Warlords. Young master, there's a new warlord. Hmm? Oh, that's Sugar from Dressrosa. Kuma the tyrant? Sounds like another villain has come to play. What do you think? I couldn't care less. Have you taken care of those idiots who spotted our rain-making ship yet? This is referencing the hidden ship from chapter 212. Mihawk, looks on at a ship exploding. He looks as big as Whitebeard. Kobe, who do you reckon is stronger, me or him? You, of course, Alvida-sama. Wow. Oda really pulling everything. He's pulling references back to chapter 1 and like Alvida's ship. So they finally found a replacement. That's great news, Jinbei. Considering the circumstances, you're the last person I'd expect to say that. I'm still reading the details about him. He's a former king. This on top of the reigning king we already have in our ranks. The pirate world really is changing. Their business doesn't affect us. I follow no man's orders. Princess, it's essential that you keep track of information like this. They say he's a paw-palmed man. That doesn't exactly sound frightening, does it? Well, he's already a warlord, so he's got to be strong enough to make the cut, Moria-sama. Don't the warlords answer directly to the government? Kuma-san would never work for them. Dear Bonney, I'm still at sea as I write this. I've become quite well known, and it's getting harder and harder to sail in peace. But I'm doing okay. He put his daughter's drawing on the sail of the pirate ship. Yep. I'm doing my best to find interesting travel destinations for when you turn 10. Cool. It'll be a long journey to deliver this. Please take care. I hope everyone back home is doing as well as I am. Bartholomew Kuma, come in. You have new commands from the government. See. Oh, I made him mad. What is your current location? I'm in the East Blue. What are your orders? Wow. So Kuma was at Fuchsia Village, or near Fuchsia Village, during Kid Luffy's youth. So okay, so this is confusing. If Kobe is on Alvida's ship and is learning about Kuma, and he looks the same, and then this looks like he shows up at Fuchsia Village when Luffy is still a kid, or maybe a teen. Maybe the time kind of works out. All right, front cover and colors spread next issue. Honest, honestly, an amazing chapter, a truly amazing chapter. So we're still technically in flashback, but we are getting we're at the end of Kuma's backstory here. And I'm honestly wondering if they are gonna do the backstory all the way up to when he gets sent to Thriller Bark. But yeah, it's very interesting. And it also makes me wonder if the world government knew that the Nika fruit had been brought to Fuchsia Village, because I feel like they wouldn't have sent a warlord there for nothing. But to be honest, it's crazy that they would send a warlord after a child, no less. Yeah. Let's check the chat here. Drake says Kizaru showing up in the flashback. I liked that, and I liked that he was actually like a good dude. This is the nicest version of Kizaru that I've ever seen. Like, he even danced to the drums of liberation. So I'm surprised he didn't like. I'm surprised he didn't have an emotional reaction to that. When he was fighting Luffy, though, we did get flashbacks of him and Sentomaru, so maybe that was part of it. Ace fought another warlord besides Jinbei. I wouldn't be surprised. Those demands, huh? He's got his nerve. I'll give him that. Yeah, no, this chapter really just like, if you didn't hate Saint J. Garcia Saturn before, you kind of gotta hate him now. It kind of like folded everything over, put it in a neat box of hate for Saturn. So like, it wasn't even unintentional that Kuma lost his free will and stuff. Saint Saturn said, "You want to save your daughter, you have to give up your you in order to save your daughter, you pretty much have to." He said, "You have to sacrifice your life for your daughter," is in essence what he said. He said, you have to die for your daughter to live. Yeah. So yeah, he pretty much gave him a death sentence in not so many words, or in many more words. But yeah, that's absolutely dastardly that they'd be like, yeah, if you want your daughter to live, not only do you die, but we're pretty much gonna rip out your soul as well. And and I mean, it seems here that, like, at least at this part in the flashback, that Kuma isn't fully like heartless yet. And honestly, if I remember correctly, it wasn't until after Thriller Bark when he no, it wasn't until after Sabody, because after he saved the Straw Hats at Sabody by sending them all away, that's when they truly took out everything from him. And I'm actually wondering if it has to do with devil fruit powers. I'm wondering if after Sabbaty, Saint Saturn said, "Well, you still have a little bit of will and consciousness left," and he used like a demon devil fruit power to literally rip out Kuma's soul. Um, but that's to be seen. I don't know, but yeah. Saturn's demands were absolutely horrible. Um, Damn, Kuma once again doing the best he can for another truly. Yes, Kuma is the Jesus of the One Piece verse, and um, I'm a Christian. I'll let Christians come after me for that statement, but Bartholomew Kuma truly is the Jesus of the One Piece verse. Um, Willing to give up even his own life, his own soul, so that his daughter can live. Um, Bonney technically doesn't even understand how much she's truly worth. Bigfoot Prof in the house says, "Yo, nice hearing from you, Bigfoot Prof." Trick says, "So this explains how the six paths of Punk came to be." Yeah, that is a crazy moment where Vegapunk is like literally having epiphanies after epiphanies on top of each other. Um, and I definitely I actually was gonna be interested to see if this was the point where he like chopped off the top of his head. Um, but apparently not yet. Uh I'll be Kizaru had a friendly relationship with Kuma and Bonney. Plus, he knows the drums of liberation. Yes. Yup. Uh, Safer Paul poses as a nurse. Yeah, that was really creepy and dastardly. That was probably the creepiest part of the entire chapter. Was it was like the evil nurse part. Um the statement, it's almost like a sleeper agent's trigger phrase. Like no one in their right mind would say a child's skull can be crushed so easily. um like she straight up threatened Kuma's child in front of him and he couldn't do anything about it. um that's that's dark, that's deep. um a callback to the Warlords. Yeah, I loved it because we got all of the original Warlords of the Sea in in this chapter, and Oda making references back to chapter 212, literally over 900 chapters ago. Um and yes, so many things are tying together and coming together. What was it? Crocodile's rain making ship. Um and honestly, I can't be for sure, but I think the ship that Mihawk is looking at when he's looking at his picture might be Don Krieg's ship. Well, no, it couldn't be Don Krieg's ship because Luffy isn't 18 yet. But he's definitely looking at some ship that he's destroyed. Um, Kuma became a warlord just before Luffy ran into Kobe. Yeah, the time difference is interesting, and you kind of have to look very carefully at this because this is Luffy running from a tiger, supposedly at Fuchsia Village, and the how his face is drawn is his face looks about the time when he left, but he's still wearing the t-shirt that he was wearing as a kid. So it's kind of a weird in between. It's in between Luffy being 10 and Luffy being 17. So I'm guessing where this is that this is about the time. This is probably a year before Luffy left Fuchsia Village. I would take a wild guess. Um, Moment you realize Kizaru is a nice guy. Yeah. Kizaru and Kuma's stories are very similar. Which is that Kuma became a robot and or a cyborg, and he without fail obeys the world government. But Kizaru just naturally obeys the world government, and honestly, Kizaru and Kuma are more similar than people might think about. Um, Kuma needs to get his on Garcia and save Bonney. It really does. Um, the sad part is I don't think he will. Um, just because this whole story, his whole story of Kuma's whole life is it's him just being sacrificed to the powers that be. I mean, his whole life is Saturn just sitting there laughing in his face saying, "I won. I beat you." And Kuma being like, I don't care if you beat me. Like if it saves other people, yeah, you can go ahead and win. I will let you win so that other people don't have to get hurt. Um and that's beautiful, but it's also very, very painful. And I feel like Saturn has much more stake in this. To be honest, I feel like what would hurt Saturn more than anything, than being stabbed, than being defeated, than anything, would be for Kuma to regain his memories and for Kuma to get Bonney back, maybe take her and her whole crew back to like Sorbet, and I feel like what would hurt Saturn the most is for Kuma to finally be happy, because Saturn is like Kuma's nemesis. Like the only thing Saturn wants in this world is just to make Kuma miserable and destroy every piece of happiness he has. Um, Saturn is literally the Eobard Thawne to Kuma's Barry Allen. Like he's just like, I don't care if you die, I don't care if you get injured, I don't care what happens. I just want to make sure that you are suffering every minute of your life. Um which is horrible, but I think if Saturn was forced to see himself lose control of Kuma and to have Kuma actually be happy, even for a moment, that would hurt him much more than any physical damage could. Um, they are similar in multiple ways. Yes. Um, but yeah, that is my thoughts on the chapter. So this live read and review is brought to you by my Patreon, which you can find at www.patreon.com/AfroX. There you can sign up to donate to the channel in increments of 5, 10, 30, 50, or $100 a month with varying rewards, varying good rewards, mind you. So definitely make sure to go check that out. And yeah, no break next week, which is nice. We're gonna get a chapter. So um yeah, that is it for One Piece chapter 1100, titled Thank You, Bonney. Uh this is a tale of pirates, powers, and the quest to be the king of them all. Stay tuned for the next piece of One Piece, to be continued.